If we fail to make God the center of our lives, we will find ourselves just as condemned as those previous people of God, the Israelites. And secondly, one of the primary factors, I believe, that certainly led to the judgment of Israel and Judah's rejection by God was that the majority of their prophets, their religious leaders, quit preaching on sin. More specifically, they left out the need for repentance in their sermons. When these prophets of old, of Hosea, Isaiah, and Jeremiah would come along, they would come and tell the people what they needed to hear. I'll say this, they came truly preaching the truth in love. They told those people what they needed to do. They needed to turn from their sin. God was going to forsake them. They were going to be destroyed by those Babylonians or those Assyrians in judgment if they would not turn from their sin. That's what they needed to hear. And here came these false prophets saying, destruction? There's no destruction. God has told me there's only peace and prosperity in our future. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry, friends. There's nothing to worry about. Friends, I hope we see that was the most unloving thing those false prophets could have done. That was the worst thing they could have done for those people. They assisted in their brethren being killed and carried away into captivity because they preached to them what they wanted to hear rather than what they needed to hear. Friends, when those whose job it is, whose responsibility it is to warn the wicked, to call the wicked to repentance, decide to confirm them in their wrongdoing and non-repentance, you have put them in the worst position you can possibly put them in. When you close the door on repentance, you also close the door on God's grace and God's forgiveness.